Hi, my name is Chris. I am the administrator and founder of the Facebook group, The Deconstruction of Christianity. And what I want to talk about today is a topic that keeps coming up in our group and I think might be relevant to others interested in the topic of deconstruction. What's happening is people are getting upset. Let me give you some examples. Some people are getting upset that people who are deconstructing no longer believe in Jesus the way evangelicals do. Other people are getting upset that some people who are deconstructing still believe in Jesus. Other people think everyone who deconstructs should become an atheist and shouldn't not only shouldn't believe in Jesus, but you're a total idiot if you believe in God. So what I want to talk about today is the idea that there are many paths out of evangelical fundamentalist Christianity. There are many deconstruction paths. And not only are there many deconstruction paths, many of us will go through many of these paths, walk along many of these paths in our process of deconstructing and coming to new understandings. We may even walk simultaneously on some of the paths I'm going to talk about here. So, a core value of our community is that we need to be able to support people on their own unique, dynamic deconstruction process. There's not necessarily a right destination, a universal destination we will all end up at. It's very likely this will be a lifelong process for those of us who keep exploring. So if you're only able to tolerate people who are on your particular path, this may not be the right place for you, because this is a place where we want to be open, understanding, curious about all, and supportive of the different journeys that are out there. What I wanted to do is just briefly give you some examples of common deconstruction paths, and I've gone down probably most of these, and I'm on some of these right now. So let me give you some examples so you understand about what I mean by many paths. One, I would call this the authentic reforming Christian. This is the sincere Christian who's kind of hit a wall as far as institutional, evangelical, fundamentalist Christianity. They're trying to get past that and find a truer expression of Christianity that really gets back to what Jesus intended, what the apostles intended in the Gospels, in the book of Acts. There's a lot of people doing that. Some people I think of as examples: Bill Hybels, Francis Chan, Philip Yancey, Rich Mullins, Brennan Manning, John Wimber. All people who in one way or another were trying to get back to something more authentic, something true to the original. I was on that path for a long time, and it eventually led me to some more radical deconstruction paths. The second path, the open evangelical path. What I mean by that is, I'll give myself as an example. I was still an evangelical, but I got to a point where Noah's Ark was not making sense literally to me. The 7-day creation did not make sense as a historical event. The Tower of Babel. I was questioning the evangelical church's stance on women, that women should be subordinate to men, about homosexuality. And though I was still an evangelical, still believed in Jesus and a lot of the essential theology, I could no longer accept those things, but was on a path of being open to other voices, but hoping I could somehow reconcile this with the Bible and the essential beliefs of evangelical Christianity. A third path is the liberal Christian path. That's the one I did after the open evangelical path. Some examples of that would be Nadia Bowles-Weber, Walter Brueggemann, Marcus Borg, Shane Claiborne, Rachel Held Evans. I was a member of a liberal Lutheran church for a while. Had a great experience there, but even in the Lutheran church, I wasn't able to remain exclusively Christian anymore. But I went down that path as far as I could, kind of hoping to stay in the church. But yet I was finding I wasn't even fitting in liberal Christianity. Fourth path, the contemplative Christian path. I think of Richard Rohr, Thomas Merton, Henry Nouwen. Obviously, this is a Catholic influenced path, but it's where it's really with an emphasis on mysticism, being contemplative, spiritual formation practices. A fifth one, the open process theology path. Our own Thomas Ord is from my understanding of his positions on that path. Richard Swinburne, C. Robert Mesley. This is where they've developed a theology of God that I can't really sum it up succinctly. It's more relational. It goes against some of the classical ideas of theism. It's trying to address the tension of the problem of evil by mitigating God's responsibility for evil in the world. So that's a path. Six, the Universalist path. I've attended a Unitarian Universalist church many times. Another path to try to find some spirituality and spiritual community. The Eastern religion path. I've really been blessed by reading Buddhism, Taoism, whole different perspective on spirituality than I'd ever explored before. Very powerful for me. The New Age path. This is kind of an Eastern influence, popular Western spirituality. You think of people like Eckhart Tolle, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Singer, Deepak Chopra, many, many others. This is a type of spirituality. The Secret would be in that vein. There's a lot of variety in the New Age path. I do think there's some really credible people like Eckhart Tolle and Michael Singer who've really opened my eyes in spirituality that I would recommend. There's the philosophical path, Stoicism. I think of the Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Ryan Holiday is a very popular author who's popularized Stoicism right now. Existentialism, of course, Sartre, who I'm probably saying that wrong, Nietzsche. Some really powerful ways to find meaning in the face of nihilism. Some postmodernism philosophies have been popularized, especially among ex-evangelicals, by a guy named Peter Rollins. Then the final path I'm going to mention is the New Atheist path. A lot of people coming out of evangelical Christianity are drawn to the likes of Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, Daniel Dennett, Sam Harris. They really address a lot of the issues of evangelical Christianity. I agree with some of them, some I don't agree with. I'm not an atheist. But that's not all of the paths. Those are the first 10 that came to mind, and really those are the 10 I've engaged to some degree in my process. The point I'm trying to make, though, is there's a lot of valid, reasonable paths out of evangelicalism, out of fundamentalism, and we are creating a space here that's going to support all of them. If one just drives you crazy, maybe the best thing to do is just scroll past it. If you can't engage it constructively. If you are engaging it, ask your questions, not in an insulting way, not in a disrespectful way, but just, these are the questions I've had about this approach, this philosophy, this spirituality. Approach it with openness and with a curiosity, wanting to know, wanting to understand. Boy, have I discovered I'm wrong about so many things, and I've overlooked so many things and shut down so many things in the past. Better late than never. I wish I had come to these understandings sooner, but I came now. So my ultimate hope here is not just that you would tolerate people who are on different paths. I hope ultimately you'll open up to them, become curious about them, be supportive of them, learn from them, and be influenced by them. All right, I would love to hear your reaction to this. Maybe you want to share some additional paths that have been important to you, some of the challenges of this. Maybe there's a path that you just can't accept and you want to talk about that. Feel free to share those things. All right, thank you.